Hey y'all, Crazy Mama Kelly here, coming at you from my part of PA. It's been a while, I know I always say that, but, working crazy full here, so it's kind of hard to get videos out, but I try to do the best I can. Right now, I hope y'all been doing good. I've been doing alright here. I scored a bunch of candle wax and scents from a local girl, which is kind of cool, so, my nose is itchy. Sorry, excuse me. So I've been making candles like a crazy fool, and I'm going to be selling them. Hopefully posted on my store out on Etsy. I always say I'm going to do that, but I never get around to it, it seems. My life's always chaotic and crazy. But I do have a few done. This is one I'm doing for a fella at work. I got a little skull, silver skull right there with some lace and stuff. This scent is pumpkin latte. A little late in the season, but I mean, we still have Thanksgiving on the way, so that works, I guess, for that. All we're doing around here is I'm trying to clean today a little bit, get things ready for the holidays. I usually just try to have a Thanksgiving before Christmas. We always do, because my kids, we love our turkey day, but at the same time, it's kind of crazy because a lot of people I know that are saying that you shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving, that the holiday of slaughter, because of what we did to the Native Americans. Yeah, we did do a lot of bad things to the Native Americans. I'm not going to say we didn't. But history always goes to the victors. I mean, which is sad to say. I'll even say that. My thought on the whole thing is, I have Native American blood in me, not enough to matter, not enough to count. I don't know which tribe we came from, anything like that. I have Irish in me, I have Scottish in me. That's my history. That's my family's history. That's our blood. It's in my blood. So, but my family still celebrates, even though we're Native American, we're not so much so Native American, but even though we are somewhat Native, a little bit, we still celebrate Thanksgiving, and we don't think so much of, we don't go all out with the pilgrims and stuff like that. We celebrate it by food. Food brings our family together. We just love food, and that's what is, what we're thankful for. We're thankful for food. We're thankful for our home. We're thankful for everything. That's what we try to think of. That's the idea we generate behind Thanksgiving, as far as I'm concerned. My Native American heritage, I'm sure they understand. I'm hoping they did, because I don't know if anybody knows, but a lot of the Native Americans in this area, general vicinity, they were either exterminated or they were, made to become white, kind of, sort of. They were taken, the young children were taken from their families, and they were shipped to these schools that taught them. They weren't allowed to speak their native language. They weren't allowed to do anything like that. Yeah, that's Lizzie. They weren't allowed to do anything like that. They got rid of their customs. A lot of things were like shunned, and the poor natives lost a lot of what they were meant to do. It's really sad. I'm not too far from New York, up this way. Elizabeth, stop. I'm not too far from New York, where the Seneca tribe is. So, I mean, they are up in that area. But up in my general vicinity, we don't have a whole lot of natives. We don't have a whole lot of native stories or anything like that, which I think is sad, because we've lost a lot of that. But that's just my take on it. So if you celebrate Thanksgiving, still, like, there, just try to be mindful, be thankful for what we have and everything, and try to give mad respect out to the Native Americans. We put them through a lot of crap. We did. We stole their land. We made them sick. We killed them, tortured them, and made them give up their lifestyle because we thought we were in the righteous. We thought we were good to go. But really, in the end, we just decimated a whole culture of people just because we thought we were right, and we were greedy, and we wanted their land. Anyway, story today kind of reflects a little bit about that, in a way. It's the Bloody Sisters of Renfrew Park. Okay, I didn't read a whole lot about this. but I'm going to try to give you a gist of it. I guess we'll read it together. This happened in the 1760s. I'm not sure. Said in the 1760s, the settlers in Pennsylvania were in amidst the French and Indian Wars and the increased level of brutality and unrest in the colony. That's what they experienced back in the 1760s. The French and British offered bounties on each other and on the opposing Indian tribes, and both Native Americans and whites collected scalps, they're talking about. Proof of their killing. It was a form of currency back then. And although the natives had engaged in this practice before the Europeans came, which I'm not real sure about that, but I don't know. It says the taking scalps increased during this time because of the bounties offered by the Europeans.
Wait.
What?
Can I please go to
Aiden Lacey's?
Or Frank's?
I don't care. Go ahead. Stay warm.
Sorry.
It's okay. Kids, you know. Alright, it said the increased scalps taking scalps increased during this time and became bounties offered by the Europeans, like to prove that they killed other people. They wanted proof. But at the same time, the Indians were struggling also because it wasn't nothing to be a peaceful Indian village and they'd be attacked and decimated because they were Indians. Because other Indians were busy killing settlers. It was just a big mess from what it said. And it says it wasn't nothing much for an unsuspected farm family to be scalped or hacked to pieces in retaliation for the cruelty that the Indians were suffering. So it was just a big old mess. The Renfrew family settled in what would become Waynesboro in hopes of finding a new life. Like many others that came at the time, they were looking for a better life than they could have had in Europe or working for others in the cities of America. The Renfrews had 2 teenage daughters, Sarah and Jane. Life was hard on the frontier, even without the threat of Indian raids, hostile whites, or animal attacks. Women worked from dawn till dusk, washing clothes on the rocks and the streams, preparing food, cleaning and tending the gardens and children, carving out a life in the wilderness along with their men. Sarah and Jane had very little to be proud of. Their clothing was old and worn, and they had no jewelry or finery to call their own. But they were comely young girls with beautiful long, dark hair that they would let hang loose like curtains of darkness across their shoulders. If they were vain about anything, it was their pretty hair. When their mother brushed it for them, she told them how beautiful it was. Every night they brushed each other's hair in the firelight and dreamed of the day when they would be brushing their hair before their husbands' eyes. One afternoon, the girls took the laundry down to the Antietam Creek that ran near their home. It was a pretty day, so the 2 sisters did not mind. The girls didn't know this would be the fateful decision. While the 2 girls beat the clothes on the rocks in the stream to get them clean, hostile eyes were watching them from the woods. The hatchet-hard faces of natives, dabbed with red and black war paint, were ferocious to behold. Their hair was shaved along the sides and stood up in hot combs on top of their head. They knew that they found easy prey. Suddenly, from the black forest came a terrible cry, and the girls looked up in horror. The sound was unmistakable to them. They dropped the laundry and gathered up their skirts to run. From the forest ran the demonic-faced, tawny figures. The girls fled like deer, but not fast enough. Within moments, terrible deeds were done, and the 2 girls lay mangled and broken, not far from the water where they had labored only moments before. Their beautiful hair was gone, carried away to be sold or traded. Hours went by before the girls were missed, and people went to look for them. They found not far away, bloodied and their beautiful hair scalped. It was a tragedy that played out all too often on the frontier. Okay. It says the girls were buried, but not soon forgotten. It wasn't long until the people began to claim that the girls with their bloody scalped heads were seen wandering along the area where they had died. It was believed that the girls could not rest because their hair was taken. They'd come back to find their beautiful hair. The story was passed down from generation to generation. The girls' specters became known as the Bloody Renfrew Sisters. Eventually, the area was named Renfrew Park. In time, the stories all but died out, and yet, every now and then, someone comes forward to say he or she saw a terrible sight out at Renfrew Park. It doesn't really say exactly where this is, but I'm thinking it's down near Pittsburgh somewhere. I don't know. Renfrew Park, wherever that is. Captain Jack's ghost. It's in the same vicinity. It's on this central PA, it says. So if you're ever in Renfrew Park, pay mad respect out. Maybe leave a candle and, I don't know, whatever. Just be weary. The atrocities by the French and Indian War was bad. It was terrible. You know, it was, war creates madness, and, you know, makes you wonder what we're fighting for. Constantly think about our veterans. I know a couple friends that were overseas and they suffered too. Most of my family's in the armed forces too, so makes you think, you know, to be grateful. So for this holiday season, I'd say be thankful for what we have. Be thankful for our warriors out in the front lines. They're trying to protect us the way they are. Some people think we shouldn't have been over there, and it was false flag that we even went over there, and I think in a way it is. Like I said, war creates madness on both sides. So just be thankful for what you have, and be thankful for the people you love, and prayers go out, prayers and good hope and good juju goes out to those people still fighting the war. Blessings from me. This is Crazy Mom Kelly. I hope you're going to enjoy your holidays. I'm sure I'll be back before the holiday season's up. I'll show you a couple traditions and some new ones we're probably going to create in this crazy old house of ours. All right. Blessings. Take care. Peace. And bye-bye.